Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Open Mic Night live at the ZoomBarDC. We've got an amazing show for you tonight. We've got Joseph Stegner, Tom Mann, Dave Sherman, Scott Kaplowitz, Steve Woolwine, Jeremy Schuhmann, Gantt Kushner, Megan Ukoh, Scott Kaplowitz, and more. So sit back, relax, and have a great time. And Scott's going to kick us off. Take it away, Scott.
Hey, y'all. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and or holiday or whatever y'all did. I know I personally enjoyed some takeaway Chinese food. But even though Christmas has passed, I feel like it's still in the Christmas spirit. So I'm doing a couple Christmas songs. Last time I was on the open mic a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that I have a Christmas original that I pull out a couple times a year, but I'm gonna do that second only because I already have all the special functions set up on my piano for Chestnuts, which Dave mentioned. There's all kinds of funky chords going on in the original, which I took the impetus to learn. So I have I have a bass guitar going in the left hand, piano in the right hand, and drum beat will be happening at some point. Let's make this a tiny bit louder. There we go. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir of folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows some turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's bringing lots of toys and goodies on the sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna smile to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And though I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button on the metronome. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
Bravo.
You got it.
It was so much more rich with all that extra oomph into
I
it.
meant to click the turn off the metronome button and accidentally clicked the up the tempo by 20 beats button.
Yeah, that sounded all the more rich. That was really
So
favorite
beautiful.
version of that song.
Fix this piano back to normal. Okay, and now, and okay. So this next song is my Christmas original I wrote a couple years ago because I felt like I needed to write a Christmas song because that's a thing that Jews do totally. Anyways, this is called When the Birds Fly South. It's been a long, long year when winter has finally rolled round. The trees have shed their tears in leaves that now litter the ground. The world is awash in white as snow begins falling outside. And I will find peace tonight as soon as you finally arrive. 'Cause when the birds fly south and the night winds just bite to the bone, you know I won't fly down. I will wait by the fire at home. And as the snow drifts down, what a sweet serene sight that'll be. 'Cause when the birds fly south, I know you're flying home to me. It's just like those wise men say, I'm a fool in a rush for your love. The swallows have flown away, but still I stand here, my gaze cast above. And just like that northern star, I'll watch for you up in the sky. For we may be miles apart, but it's love that the miles can't deny. So when the birds fly south and the night winds us back to the bone, you know I won't fly down. I will wait by the fire at home. And as the snow drifts down, what a sweet serene sight that'll be. 'Cause when the birds fly south, I know you're flying home. And come Christmas Day, I won't be alone, missing your kisses under mistletoe. Don't bring me no presents, just you is enough. There's the star on the tree, don't shine bright as our love. 'Cause when the birds fly south and the night winds just bite to the bone, you know I won't fly down. I will wait by the fire at home. And as the snow drifts down, I'll set all my worries free. 'Cause when the birds fly south, I know you're flying home to me. Yes, when the birds fly south, I know you're flying home to me.
Well, I love that one.
Very nice.
Wonderful hook, too. Wonderful hook.
Hey, Scott.
Thanks, y'all.
Oh, bravo.
Very 3 or 4 days after Christmas.
Beautiful. Thank you. Jeremy, do you want to go next?
You hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start out with a non-Christmas song, but I think this song is written by one of my favorite songwriters of the past century, I guess, a guy named Jesse Winchester. And see, there's kind of a zoo bar connection here, because I used to sing this song in the earliest iteration of Junior Klein, the Recliners, back when Rusty Bogart was playing guitar, and he used to play a slide solo on it. So Dave and Tammy was playing piano too. So try and imagine Rusty and Tammy playing a solo, and you guys can sing
Not hard
along.
to imagine. Not hard to imagine for me.
Yeah. And it's in the key of G. It's a very easy song, and although we can't sing together, keep your mic muted, but you can go ahead and sing along on the chorus. The chorus is it's a gospel song for agnostics. Okay, so and it's called "I'm Looking for a Miracle." So the chorus goes like this. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. And I know it's just a matter of time. Listen to me, doctor, the business that you're in. You must have seen a miracle happen time and time again. I could leave a number and the next one that you see. If it ain't too much trouble, doctor, get in touch with me. 'Cause I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. And I know it's just a matter of time. Listen to me, Reverend, with all the praying that you do. I know you must have come across a miracle or two. I'm a stranger to the church, a lamb that's gone astray. But if you'd show me a miracle, I'd be there every day. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. And I know it's just a matter of time. Okay, Rusty, take it. Thomas was a doubter. He could not understand the power of the Lord until he touched it with his hand. I'm ashamed to say it, but he's a lot like me. I want to believe it, Lord, but first I want to see. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. And I know it's just a matter of time. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. And I know it's just a matter. I know it's just a matter. I know it's just a matter of time. Good God Almighty, I know it's just a matter of time.
Say amen, brother.
Doubting Thomases. All of us doubting Thomases say trust but verify.
Trust
Yeah,
me.
Rusty and I used to hang out with Rusty, and Rusty was a big influence on me. He was a great guitar player.
I've experienced many miracles, but I'm smiling all the time.
Yeah, he's
Related to Deanna Bogart?
No,
no.
no relation at all.
No, he's a tall guy with a red like a red afro. A
Well,
tall
it
white
was-
guy with a red afro. At least that used to be the style that he had back when he was playing in Brett's band as the house band in the Zoo Bar.
That's the band behind me
Yeah.
in my background.
Wasn't Malcolm X called? Didn't he have red hair?
Did he? Yeah.
I think
guess.
he did.
I don't know.
which
I don't know that.
would have to have been on not natural. Yeah, I think before he was Malcolm X, I forget what his name was, but I think the guy that used to hang out with him was the comic that had Stepford and Son. They were friends. Never mind me. I think I'm just
That's okay.
not sure where I am.
The next song I was going to do, I guess it's not really a Christmas song, and but somehow I associate it with Christmas. I think it's partly because of the lyrics. There's some lyrics in there about brown paper packages tied up with strings, and I think maybe one of the reasons I associate it with Christmas is because in my family anyway, there was kind of a tradition of my dad or my mom, I don't know who did it, but probably my dad, going out and buying the latest musical, Broadway musical soundtrack or whatever, and bringing it home on Christmas. And then we were all home on vacation playing the songs over and over again over Christmas. And so I think that the sound of music was brought into my house over Christmas vacation. And I'm going to attempt to do an instrumental version of it. And I worked this up back in 2017, and the guys in the Zoom Bombers open mic, Dave's open mic, have already heard me attempt to do this. But I try, I don't get a chance to do it very often, and so it's not easy. So I apologize for all the fluffs and stuff, but I like to try and break it out. There's not going to be no New Year's Eve gigs this year. And this was also made famous as an instrumental by John Coltrane. But it's not going to be as good as John Coltrane's version. Okay.
much, Marie.
Wow.
That was great.
Awesome. I was listening to the
Awesome.
chords in the beginning. I was like, this sounds a lot like TSO's Christmas in Sarajevo. And then you put it in. I was pumped when you worked in the God Rest You Merry Gentlemen and Carol from TSO there.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Thank you.
And one of the things that's held me back from practicing the handful of harmonicas and even the 2 guitars I have is not wanting people around me to have to endure my practice phase. But now that I've got a little booth at work at the gas station, I got my own little sound booth. I don't have to worry about bothering anybody. I can play my heart out between customers and all is good. So
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, harmonica is also something that you can practice while you're driving. Although there's no
my
law
battery's
against
running low.
it.
I gotta
There's no law against it like
plug
cell
it in.
phones.
That was beautiful, Jeremy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Megan, do you want to go next?
Sure. Do this. All right. I have this song that I did recently that I just enjoy doing it because it was just a special moment for people I helped with the proposal. So I enjoy it. It's like a mixture of like an old school song and then like adding some hip hop on top of it. Like I'm not a rapper, but it's like rapping in it. So it's Bobby Caldwell's and Common mixed together for the song. Okay. There are times when you need someone, I will be by your side. There is a light that shines special for you and me. I never knew a love like this. Gotta be something for me to write this. I ain't seen you in a minute. Wrote this letter and finally decided to send it. Signed, sealed, delivered for us to grow together. Love has no limit. Let's spin it slow forever. I know your heart is weathered by what stuff did to you. I ain't gonna start them cause I probably did it too. Because of feelings I handle with care. Some brothers recognize the light, but they can't handle the glare. No, I ain't the type of round the rock with matching shirts. If relationship is effort, I will match your work. I wanna be the one to make you happiest and hurt you the most. They say the end of series is close to the most high. Regardless of what happened on him, let's rely. There are times when you need someone, I'll be by your side. There is a light that shines special for you and me. It's important we communicate and tune the fate of this union to the right. I've never called you out your name or even my boo. There's so much in the name and so much more than you. You understand the union of woman and man. All the things where they assume that it land. But that's fly by night. For you in the sky, I ride. For in this cold shot night moves, you my light. If ever had a light, you would be that tall. Ghetto the coffee shop, do you? I see that all. Let's stick to understanding and we won't fall for better or worse. Hope to me you call, so I pray every day more than anything. Friends will stay as we begin to lay this foundation for family. Love ain't simple, why can't it be anything you have? You work at anyway. Granted, we've known each other for some time. They don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. There are times when you need someone, I will be by your side, oh darling. There is a light that shines special for you and me. It's kind of fresh, you listen to more than hip hop, and I can catch it in the mix when beauty the thrift shop. Plus you pop when it's time to think it's fresh. Suggesting beats I should rhyme to. At times when I'm lost, I try to find you. You know to give me space when it's time to. My heart gets in there to find you. It's love and happiness. Truthfully, it's hard trying to practice happiness. It had to be polarized and it still feel good. You know, intimacy can keep you. But as an equal, let's is how I must treat you. As my reflection of light, I'ma lead you. And whatever's right, I'ma feed you. Dig it, die, dig it, die, dig it, die, dig it, die, dig it, die. Yo, I tell you the rest when I see you. You need someone, I will be by your side. There is a light that shines special for you and me. There are times when you need someone, I will be by your side. There is a light that shines special for you and me. Probably feeling better in the moment.
Oh. Woohoo! Hey, Megan. Wow.
A lot of words and a lot of, anyways.
A lot of words.
Yeah.
But you got them all in.
It was good in the moment. They enjoyed it in the moment. The proposal went well and all that.
Ongoing problem I have, Megan, is I've run out of superlatives for you.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. You're wonderful.
All right, I had to do it. I did it. I'm doing another Joseph Stegner original.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I was just scrolling through your timeline. I was like, oh, like this works for a song. I think this.
Oh
might
yeah,
work for a song.
I can't wait.
Oh wait, I think I cut off a piece.
Joseph,
of it.
is there somewhere that all your poems are posted?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I have a Facebook page called Free Lyrics for Songmakers. I think I might have just changed it to public domain songs for songmakers.
To try the same thing Megan's doing. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've got
last
blogger posts too, so many places. But yeah, well, let's hook up because I want lyrics to your song too, so I can sing Olive Branch. There's a couple words I can't tell, so I can't wait. Thank you, Megan.
All right, cool. I think there's not a title for it, but I think you'll recognize it when you hear it. Make sure I do that. Lord, you said to love our enemies, but such wisdom lacks a voice. People abandon faith in humanity as if the hit's a better choice. No, the Apostle John admonished us, and that's a better guide. I can deep skin. There are those who would rather condemn, but insufficient faith, good can't begin. Lord, remind us the earth is round and oxygen ignites us all. Help us evolve beyond the reasoning that wants to make another fall. Help us please be sensitive, empathetic, kind of smart, more willing to help the wounded than tear the ill apart. Please help us evolve to be healers, not bullies who revel in might. Let love for creation be manifest by restoring vision to our sight. The majority are loving and peaceful, but I must be loving as well. Please let the constructive spirit replace the ones that wish others to hell. Lord, remind us the earth is round and oxygen ignites us all. Help us evolve beyond the reasoning that wants to make another fall. on, more willing to help a wounded than tear them apart. Please, oh please.
Yes, damn, that was good. Wow.
Just made that up.
Oh my God, I'm crying. Golly.
Like, wow, this makes for a great song.
Oh, man, you made that magic. I'm speechless. Man, I'm gonna listen to that over and over. Beautiful, Megan, beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh,
It
that's
just came
just
together out of nowhere. I was like,
magnificent.
oh,
That was gorgeous,
Oh, thank
gorgeous.
you,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, made my day.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yay, Megan. Yay, Joseph. That was gorgeous. Wow. Thank you. Okay, Tom Mann, do you want to go next? You have to unmute, sorry.
Why don't you let somebody else go first?
Let somebody else go? Okay. Bill Sherman
No. We got to
or
switch.
Dave Sherman or Dave Sherman. You want to go first if you're
It doesn't matter.
if you're sitting there, whatever you want.
We can switch.
Okay.
Well, yeah, let him go.
He's up, he's down. So for me tonight, it's Louis Jordan night. The first one is you is or is you ain't my baby. I got a gal who's always late every time that we have a date, but I love her. Yes, I love her. So I'm gonna march right up to her gate and see if I can get it straight, 'cause I need her. I'm gonna ask her, is you is or is you ain't my baby? The way you're acting lately makes me doubt. You still my baby, baby, but it seems like my flame in your heart's done gone now. A woman is a creature that has always been strange. Just when you're sure of one, she's gone and made a change. Well, is you is or is you ain't my baby? Or is my baby seeing someone new? You are still my baby, baby. Seems like the flame in my heart has gone out for you. That has always been strange. Just when you're sure of one, she's gone and made a change. Is you is or is you ain't my baby? Is my baby seeing someone new? Or is is my baby still my baby true? Or is my baby still my baby true? Is you still my baby? Is you still my baby true? Funky there.
Good. That's good.
You Billy?
I brought their A game tonight. Everyone is on it.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, I agree.
Now the other Louis Jordan song, Dave says he's not aware of the song, which kind of surprises me because Dave knows a lot of Louis Jordan. You know, this was written back in the early 50s by Louis Jordan. And when I see young ladies who have various colored hair, pink, orange, chartreuse, and I point out to them that, you know, there's really nothing new under the sun, because the name of this song written in the early 50s is You Dyed Your Hair Chartreuse. Well, you're a freckled gal, you're a pug-nosed cutie, sweet as Charlotte Russe. So I ask you why did you take a try and dye your hair chartreuse? Chartreuse, though you think it's mighty cute, you went too far in that beauty booth when you dyed your hair chartreuse. Chartreuse, chartreuse, though you think it's mighty cute, just wait till I ride and I tell your ma that you dyed your hair chartreuse. In the days of old, when the nights were bolder and the girls were truer blue, just think what Pa would have said to Ma had she dyed her hair chartreuse. Chartreuse, chartreuse, though you think it's mighty cute, just wait till I ride and I tell your Ma that you dyed your hair chartreuse. Chartreuse, chartreuse, though you think it's mighty cute, well, you went too far in that beauty booth when you dyed your hair chartreuse. Well, you know I know that your hair was black when we lived on Chestnut Street, when you wore pigtails and ginger ale was your most favorite drink. Well, you're a big girl now, so you think it's cute being free and fancy loose, but you went too far in that beauty booth when you dyed your hair chartreuse. Chartreuse, chartreuse, though you think it's mighty cute, wait till I ride and I tell your ma that you dyed your hair chartreuse. Chartreuse, chartreuse, though you think it's mighty cute, just wait till I ride and I tell your ma you didn't like black, you didn't like red, you hated blondes, well it's no use. You got mad and dyed your hair. Chartreuse.
What color is chartreuse? I gotta look.
Yay!
No, that was awesome.
Yeah, I think Louis Jordan's, he can be very funny. Or was very funny, I guess I should say.
Well, actually, in the era when Louis Jordan was playing, a lot of the serious jazz musicians considered Louis Jordan a kind of a comedy act anyway, which is a shame because it was really great music, and I mean, he was a great player and a great singer, great songwriter. Anyway, I digress.
Dave, do you want to go next, or you want somebody else to go after your brother?
No. I can go next. Hold on, I gotta get around here. Whee! I would like to start out by saying that one of the reasons that I was so attracted to blues, and still am so attracted to blues, is blues is about life, nitty gritty, down and dirty life. It's not high and mighty, and I just that's always that music is just always deep down in my soul. I'm just very attracted to it. But anyway, I'm going to do a couple of Ry Cooder things tonight. So, well, right, I should say Ry Cooderized songs because Ry Cooder didn't write either one of these. Okay. All right, hold on. Well, baby used to stay out all night long. She made me cry. She did me wrong. She hurt my eyes open. That's no lie. The table's turning now. It's her turn to cry. Because I used to love her, but it's all over now. Because I used to love her, but it's all over now. She used to run around with every man in town, spent all my money playing her half-assed games. She put me out, it was a pity how I cried. The table's turning now, it's her turn to cry. 'Cause I used to love her, but it's all over now. Because I used to love her, but it's all over now. Well, I used to wake in the morning, get my breakfast in bed. When I got worried, she would ease my aching head. But now she's here and there with every man in town, still trying to take me for that same old clown. 'Cause I used to love her, but it's all over now. Because I used to love her, but it's all over now.
All right.
Background Beckers.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you, thank you. And I have done this one before, but I'm this way, but I'm gonna do it again. Little sister, don't you see? Little sister, don't you kid on me, little don't you cheat on me. Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Well, I used to date your sister and took her to a show. Well, she went up for some candy and along came to Daddy and snuck right out the door. Little sister, don't you please. Little sister, don't you cheat on me. Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Well, I used to pull your pigtails and pinch your little turn-up nose. And baby, you've been growing, baby, you've been showing from your head down to your toes. Sister, don't you please. Little sister, don't you cheat on me. Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice. Say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. I used to pull your pigtails and pinch your little turn-up nose. But you've been growing, baby, you've been showing from your head down to your toes. Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you please, please, please. Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done.
Shot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's Elvis, isn't it?
Hey, Dave.
Yes, it is. But I just like what Ry Cooder does to songs. I mean, he didn't change the words or anything, but he did this whole different chord progression than the original, and he turns it into a Ry Cooder song.
Right on.
Awesome.
One of Elvis's earliest. That goes way back.
Oh yeah, that's before he got drafted,
Oh yeah.
and that was the best stuff he did, if you ask me. The real rockabilly stuff to me was the best. It got a little schmaltzy after he got out of the circus.
He became a self-caricature by the time he was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
And continue to become more and more of one.
Tom, man, you ready to go next?
Yeah, I can concoct something out of thin air, I'm sure. So I've lost my tooth completely, so I'm just going to have to. I know I look ugly. Just turn away. I hear the wind whistling at night through my tooth, and it keeps me awake. Anyway, so I'd like to talk about how I backed into the technology world way back in the early 1970s. Just shortly after the invention of the electron, I was a documentary filmmaker, and it was making big budget public affairs documentaries that were underwritten by corporations, and businesses in Minneapolis are very socially sensitive. So they would put up big budgets, like over $100,000 to make public affairs movies. But then we had a strange economy in '74 called stagflation. If you were around then, nobody knew what it was or how to deal with it. But suddenly companies didn't have money to put into things like socially aware films. But they did have $10,000 budgets to put into industrial films. And I'd gone to the London Film School, and I just wasn't going to do an industrial film. It's like getting an MFA in fine writing, fine arts, and then writing technical manuals. I mean, you just don't do that. But hunger has always been a great motivator for me. And this was back when we had just gotten married. And so I had to be hungry for 2 now and maybe 3 soon. So I responded to the gig and I went to meet, I was invited to go and talk to the VP of Q&A at UNIVAC, which is like one of the big computer firms back in the mainframe days. And the gentleman explained to me that the OEMs were not producing the products that were meeting the QA specs that they were supposed to meet. And that was affecting both their SRAMs and DRAMs. And they needed to improve their QA if they're going to be ISO 9000 compliant. And as he's talking, my gaze shifted out the window. And I realized that we're on different planets. I mean, what the hell? I thought maybe if you met somebody on the street that was wandering on like this, you think, well, it's just Tourette's. But I looked out in the parking lot, it was full of cars, and there were other big buildings on this campus. So, and there were sane looking people going around in and out of offices, handing out papers. And I thought, how is this possible? I'm a recent college graduate, and I don't have a clue what he's talking about. I don't even know where to begin to build on what he's talking about. And then I said, you know, frankly, I'm going to save us both a world of pain. I can't undertake this project because it's my learning curve is going to be too steep, and you're going to get frustrated, and we'll both get upset. And he said, no, you know, I admire your honesty. You'll do fine because frankly, you don't know anything about our business, and we don't know anything about filmmaking. So we're going to make this work. And the man was great. He opened up the company to me. He saw I knew nothing about computers. So he gave me carte blanche to explore any area that I wanted to. And they were doing stuff then that today is consumer products. But back then, electronic music, electronic art, voice recognition, speech synthesis, these were all far out kind of things. And when I saw them, I was just transfixed at where computers are going to go. Because back in the early 70s, computers were still do not bend, fold, spindle, or mutilate the punch cards. And then at the end of that, he said, at the end of my learning for several weeks, he said, you probably need to learn something about the component business. So they sent me to a startup company in Santa Clara called Intel for a week. So by the summer of 1974, I had probably as good an education about systems and semiconductors that a layman could have. And so I wrote this film script for them, and they were delighted with it. And on our last meeting, he said, you know, I know we're going to be using you for other things because you did such a great job here, and thank you. And you know what, whenever you come back and do something for us, I want you to remember this, always stress that our machines are going to make air travel safer, education more broadly based, and healthcare more affordable. And I was pleased to hear that. I mean, if I was stressed, I mean, I was overjoyed to hear that because I'd never heard anybody talk about computers doing anything beneficial. They were just these big gray machines. And then a book came out. It was written by a tech writer at UNIVAC. It's still a bestseller. It's Avant-Garde Motorcycle Maintenance by Bob Persig, who was working there at that time as a tech writer. And the subtitle of that book, which became a bestseller overnight, is An Inquiry into Values. And I thought, God, I've totally misunderstood this industry. You got tech writers writing poetry about values, and the VP of QA, when I finally found out that meant quality analysis, I just felt I was at home. And then I started hearing about Silicon Valley, so I decided to move out there. I'd always wanted to live in California. And I thought, man, this is going to be the center of value propagation. Silicon Valley, it sounds like it's in towns named after St. Francis, St. Clair, St. Joseph, St. Matthew. I'm really going to fit in there. And since I moved here in 1979, I'd never once heard anyone talk about values, ethics, or morals. So I had these high hopes and found out that you are never to use those words in our company. But by this time I'd already been initiated. So it's like the mafia. I was stuck, I was in, and you can't get out. But
Firm.
that's how I backed into high tech. And now I'm sorry that the industry ever got started. It's the downside far outweighs the upside. And man, it's only going to get worse.
Yep.
Well, here we are. So looking on the bright side, that's pretty cool though. That's a pretty cool piece of history.
Without all this high tech stuff, we wouldn't be here doing these Zoom meetings. That's
right.
It's come
That's
out.
Yeah, but without high tech stuff, I don't think we'd be having kids shooting each other in class.
Right,
I
right,
know.
right. You're right. All of
And
this
a whole
crap
lot
that
of it.
they
And it's
don't
only-
even understand. Right.
It's only going to get much worse with the metaverse.
I agree with
I appreciate what you're saying, Tom, and unfortunately, technologies can be used for good and for bad, because ultimately it's because we're humans and that's what humans do.
Well, I'm speaking now in the fog of just seeing Don't Look Down last night, and
in the
Look up.
It's a new movie on Netflix.
Don't look up. I think it's on Netflix, isn't it? It's
Yeah, it's Don't Look Up, right?
we're speeding towards extinction here.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Okay, well, I mean, I'm right. I write about this from a life history, and I saw it go from innocence to too bad. Even by 1988, I remember saying to myself, "We're going to regret we started down this highway. Be careful going in the metasphere. It's going to be a disaster for the human soul."
It is the soul. Right. You're right. You're right.
Thank you, Tom. Yes,
Thank you.
It's only our generation that gets it now.
yeah. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks.
And, anyway, great story. Thank you. And wise words from
Wise.
somebody who was an eyewitness to just about everything cool that happened, including being at the Beatles. So
Yeah.
Okay, Steve Woolwine, are you ready to go next?
Yay, Steve. Another soul person. Thank you, Steve.
All right. Let's see what we got here. What am I playing? All right. These are repeats, by the way. Sorry about that. Just
Don't be
pulling
sorry.
things together.
You mean greatest hits?
Thank you for that positivity. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Waited on trains across the track, looking to see how far back can you see? Can you see? Wasn't raised on a farm, but we had cows in our backyard. Treehouse and forts in the woods, like Daniel Boone and Robin Hood. We waited on trains to cross the tracks, looking to see how far back can you see? Can you see? That's how country we used to be. Walnut battles and chicken fights, fried bologna cut just right, homemade peach ice cream on a hot summer night. And no matter where we would go, waited on trains to cross the track, looking to see how far back can you see? Can you see? That's how country we used to be. Flat and Scruggs on our radio, Roger Miller on our 33s, pliers that turn a channel on our TV, to the hillbillies from Beverly. We waited on trains to cross the track, looking to see how far back can you see? Can you see? That's how country we used to be. Times move on, places change, but sometimes I still wait on trains, reminding me of those used to be's and these simple memories. We waited on trains to cross the tracks, looking to see how far back can you see? Can you see? That's how country we used to be.
Take us country boys right back there. Thank you. Thank you.
I was saying, Dave, we didn't have walnut fights. We had acorn fights. You know, that's what we had available to us.
Anything would do.
Yeah, we had, when I was in junior high school, we used to have crabapple fights at the bus stop
Yeah.
because we waited under a crabapple tree.
It's a simple
Like a
thing.
little
I'm doing this song because, not that it matters, but it was a year ago today that I did it the first time with Dave and the guys at Zoom. So I'm gonna do it again. And she said, "What are you thinking behind those blue eyes?" Said, "The lightning bugs lit up the trees like Christmas this spring, and the muscadine grapes came in thicker this year, and the flowers haven't bloomed this big in years, and I can't believe it's been 30 years. And she said, "What are you thinking behind those blue eyes?" I said, "I really miss my old friend this time of year." I said, "It's been a long, long time, and how time really flies. And did I forget to say I love you, dear?" And she said, "What are you thinking behind those blue eyes?" Said, "I think I need to buy milk at the store. Should I cut the grass today or wait just a little more? And if I forgot to say I love you even more?" And she said, What are you thinking behind those blue eyes? Say, I'd like to try and write a song today. Maybe wash the car if it's warm outside. But I'm really not sure what I'm gonna say. And I think this one is yours, by the way. And if I forgot to say I love you today. That's what I'm thinking behind these blue eyes. And why do you ask? Anyway, she said, I got a lot of work to do today. I just wanted to see if you're okay. And if I forget to say I love you even more today. And she said, what are you thinking behind those blue eyes?
Whoa, beautiful. Beautiful.
Was that really 1 year ago?
It came up on my Facebook thing to say a year ago today.
Wow.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's just marvelous.
And I remember
That's beautiful.
it was Christmas time, and Carl said, hey, or maybe it was Bill, he said, you know, because we were supposed to do at least one Christmas song, and that seemed awfully complicated, so I pulled this out, and then Carl said, hey, you meet the cut, or Bill said, you meet the cut that had the word Christmas in it.
Oh, I remember that now.
And I was like, hey.
That is beautiful and brings tears. Thank you.
It's just one of them things where my wife said, you know, like, what are you thinking? And I was like, well, this is exactly what I was thinking.
Such a beautiful song.
No
Steve.
secret.
Thank you. Definitely brought tears to my eyes.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank
Steve's
you.
good at that.
Yes, he
Okay.
is. Absolutely is.
Yeah.
Joseph, do you want to go next?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, hey.
I wanted to do something, just again, create something for you all. My system is telling me that my audio quality might be weak because my memory is full. So hopefully it comes across. And though I wanted to do something completely from my head.
Is it your
There's
memory
some
or
kind
your
of
computer
metaphor to
memory?
be tracked in there.
There may be, just speaking from my heart, but I did write the opening to it. It's going to kick me off into freestyle. While Steve was singing, I wrote this. So let me mute this distracting message. What can I sing to you, my mother, knowing now just where we're at? If you really only weeks to live, what can your son pull from his hat? You were only 17 when you first held me to your breast. Never a day has come to pass when you haven't been to me the best. And now I see you as you struggle to even walk across the room. One who taught me how to care. Approaching now, so close to doom. And we both worked in that profession. And we know just what we know. And we recognize the seasons. And we feel that cold wind blow. So I ain't here to paint some picture, to pretend what ain't. We both know just where we're at. What can your son pull from his hat? You've loved me all my life, my mother. What can I say to you now, ending? You've been much more than a best friend. You've given me what will not end. You taught me faith when things are looking down, to keep that smile and never frown. You cared for others when they were too weak to even lift their very arms. You loved others at their ending, and now you've reached that chapter 2. All I really want to say to you is how much I love and I'm grateful for you. But the show must always go on. That's the way it always goes. Soon there's always just a stem left where once was the most beautiful rose. And as we cycle in our seasons, I take your love and carry on. The world will know that you have blossomed. Upon the soul, rain will fall on. So as you go, I have no words to say, but thank you, Mother, for all you've done. You sacrificed your life all these years to give the best to your daughter and son. Before you leave, just know we love you and thank you for what you've passed along.
Mhm.
And even my sons sing right with me, how life's indeed a beautiful song.
Mhm.
And thank you for those glasses that let me see that. I love you, Mom.
Whoa. Hold the positive. Hold the positive. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Marie-Louise, for giving me a place to share that.
Thank you for sharing. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sorry you're going through this with your mom, but that was such a beautiful tribute for her.
Mm-hmm.
She sounds like an amazing woman.
Yeah. Does.
She was a nurse. She raised my sister and I as a nurse's aide, doing the hard work, changing diapers and caring for those that everyone else had abandoned, their own family couldn't care for. She did it with a smile, made them feel beautiful. Had to work 2 jobs when we first moved to California, but didn't lose her smile. And it wasn't until the men in her life, just kind of one at a time, kind of taking some of that joy and perspective away, that something changed. But you know, she's still my mother, and I love her like I just can't explain. And I dread the day. And she may be a horse and carry all this through, but you know, if lab tests are what they are, then I'm just being realistic.
Yeah. Wow. She gave you some good grace.
And she gave me liberty, man. She let me hitchhike across this country.
Yeah.
She let me be a poet. In fact, I was working as a paramedic, and she was working at the VA in Livermore, commuting with a group of fellow nurses and people who worked there at the Veterans Administration. And when she told them that I was going to leave being a paramedic to be a poet, because I had this push in my heart to want to describe the world in ways to make people not want to fight each other, instead of just responding after they shoot each other, do all the terrible things to each other. And her coworker said, grown man can't leave a good job to be a poet. And you know what she said to them? My son can, and he will. And I did.
Yeah. Good mother.
Wow. Wow. Yay, Mom.
Yeah.
That's a special mom you got there. Wow.
Yeah. Very wise lady.
Wow, thank you. Okay, well, it's time for the closer, Gantt Kushner. Whenever you're ready.
I don't know about always being the closer, but here I am. Boy, that was intense.
Mm-hmm.
Follow that, right? I think we should let that be the closer, but. All right, I'm going to do a couple of songs that I've actually done before. I don't know if I've done this one quite this way. I might have tried, who knows? I have a very low threshold of boredom, so I got to change things up. I've got a tiger by the tail, it's plain to see. I won't be much when you get through with me. I'm losing weight and turning mighty pale. It looks like I got a tiger by the tail. I thought the day I met you, you were meek as a lamb. Just the kind to fit my dreams and plans. But now the pace we're living takes the wind from my sails. It looks like I got a tiger by the tail. I've got a tiger by the tail, it's plain to see. I won't be much when you get through with me. I'm losing weight and turning mighty pale. It looks like I got a tiger by the tail. Well, every night you drag me where the bright lights are found. There ain't no way for you to slow down. I'm about as helpless as a leaf in a gale. Looks like I got a tiger by the tail. I've got a tiger by the tail, it's plain to see. I won't be much when you get through with me. Losing weight and turning mighty pale. It looks like I got a tiger by the tail. It looks like I got a tiger by the tail.
Fun song.
Thank you.
I've never heard it before.
I'm so happy I can call all of you friends. Thank you. Thank you, Gantt.
Thank you. All right. And here's another oldie but goodie, I guess. I'm going to put this one on my album called Songs with the Capo on the Second Fret. See him wasted on the sidewalk in his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortunes like a smile. Once he had a future full of money, hope, and dream, which he spent, but they were going out of style. And he keeps right on changing for the better or the worse, searching for some shrine he's never found, never knowing if believing is a blessing or a curse. If you're going up, it's worth the coming down. 'Cause he's a poet, he's a picker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher, he's a pilgrim pilgrim and a preacher and a problem under stone. Walking contradiction, partly truth, partly fiction, taking every wrong direction, his lonely way back home. He has tasted good and evil, your bedrooms and your bar, traded in tomorrow for today. Chasing down his demons, Lord, and reaching for the star, losing all he had along the way. And it's a world that keeps on changing, for the better or the worse, and all he ever gets is older and around. From the rocking of the cradle to the rolling of the hearse, we're going up and worth the coming down. Does he's a poet, he's a picker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher, he's a pilgrim and a preacher, and a problem when he's stoned. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth, partly fiction, taking every wrong direction, there's the only way back home. Yeah, he's a poet, he's a picker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher, he's a pilgrim and a preacher, and a problem of the stone. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth, partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home.
Oh, never loved that song as much until you started playing it, Gantt. That just got my face wet. Thank you.
I used to not be able to sing it because it made me cry. I have a friend who finally got sober and stopped dying, and I couldn't sing the song until he did that, because it was about him to me.
Well, you got me crying, so well done.
Well, fair is fair.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gantt. I love that song. Thank you. And yeah, so you're just so good at closing, Gantt. I can't help it. So thank you all so much. That's our show.
Thank you, Marie-Louise. This was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry
See
Christmas.
you all next year.
New Year to everybody.
Yeah,
Next year. Thanks,
Happy New Year's,
everybody.
everyone.
You make my life so much wealthier, and I'm really happy and proud I can call you friends. You're my musical outlet, and I love you, all of you, each of you, and thank you. Thank you for letting me be your peer.
I will
Same
echo
here.
that sentiment completely. Thank you
you,
all,
Miss
and
Marie.
special thanks to Marie-Louise for
Yes.
hosting this, keeping this. It's been a while now. Have we hit 2 years?
In March, it'll be 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty amazing.
Well, I love all you guys. So yeah. Thank you for making every week so much better.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
y'all.
Happy
and
New Year,
thank-
everyone.
New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Happy New
New
Year.
Year.
Everybody.
Happy New Year. Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Dave.
Next
Thanks,
year.
Joseph.
See you all
Thanks,
next
Scott.
year.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
You
See
will.
y'all next year.
See you next year. Thanks, everybody.
We have some peace.
Thanks, Gantt.